Good evening. It's great for us to be in the Rochester market tonight with the Huddle tour. This market is incredibly important to our university, to our athletic department. We've got a great alumni base in the Rochester area. We have a great fan base in the Rochester area, and it's one that we want to serve and really connect with and be able to communicate and establish great relationships with. We also have a number of student athletes. We have 10 student athletes from the Rochester area. So besides being a place where we have a number of alumni, we also have our 10 current student athletes and obviously all kinds of undergrads from the area as well. But it's great to be in this area. It's great to be in our setting here tonight. And we appreciate the support that we get from the Rochester community, from our alumni, from our fans. That support is absolutely critical to our student athletes, to our coaches, and tonight is an opportunity for us to say thank you to them for their support, and we hope and we look forward to a great 2017-18 athletic year and academic year, and that our fans and supporters from Rochester can come down and see all our teams in competition at the highest level of competition in all of intercollegiate athletics in the Atlantic Coast Conference. So, again, a pleasure to be here, and we appreciate the support, and we appreciate the enthusiasm of this market.
Thank you. John? Yep.
I think it really, boss said it the best. It's just great being here. And obviously when you can get into an area that has been very supportive of our program, it's an amazing opportunity to shake some hands with the people that really must support your program, and to see some familiar faces that come to our games and support everything that we do. This area has been extremely great to us. We have a lot of our season ticket holders and fans that come from Rochester and come down to our games and enjoy a high level and a great brand of basketball. And obviously, we're looking forward to this upcoming season. We signed a tremendous recruiting class to replace some of the talent that's gone on to the WNBA and to play over in Europe. And we're just excited to be here today and to enjoy the opportunity of meeting and greeting some of the people that's been very integral to our program and to our success. So we're very honored to be here, and it's a pleasure to be standing here before you guys today. Thank you.
Thank you. Monroe Babers?
Okay, fantastic.
We'll start with you since you're up.
Outstanding.
Yes.
Hello, everybody. This is a wonderful opportunity to be up here in Rochester. Have an opportunity to try to embrace and get the entire community in the state of New York involved in Syracuse athletics. It's going to be a fantastic year. Coach Q's got an outstanding team. He's done a great job rebuilding his Final Four team. Of course, Coach Boeheim's doing an outstanding job. Wish he could be here. And then Mr. Wildhack's been unbelievable since he's been on board with us. We're excited to be here. We're excited about the opportunities that we have athletically and academically with the football team that we've got coming back for 2018. You guys have any questions right now you'd like to ask?
Have you been recruiting in this area a bit?
We've been recruiting in the entire state. I can't, right now we're still in the process. We have, out of 18 young men, we have 7 committed, and we're working on the last 11 as we speak.
Coach, you talked about when you were hired last year, that spiral drive.
Yes, sir.
And obviously the state. What are you finding throughout the state? Is it going to be helpful to you as the years go on, do you think?
You know, I really do. I think obviously when you're talking about recruiting young men from the area. Yes, I'm with you. Just based off of the football seasons, how the football seasons are a little bit shorter, it's a little bit of a negative. But I think what we do when you have a staff that's really into evaluations, and I think I have a really good staff, and we do our due diligence, that we're finding the young men that we need to find. We may be taking some stretches, but they're stretches that we feel are going to pay off in the long run. We did it in the 2016 class. We're doing it in the 2017 class. So anyone that we feel that's close, that we think can help us win football games and be able to withhold the academic part of this situation when coming to Syracuse University, we're interested in, and we have been signing in the state of New York.
just finished up the schedule. What's your impression of the slate for this coming year?
I think that the schedule is challenging, but we wouldn't have it any other way. You know, when you play in the Atlantic side of the conference, you're going to play against teams in 2 of the last 4 years played for the national championship and won. So we think that those are an advantage, not a disadvantage. But what we've got to do is we've got to continue to recruit fine academic young men that want to play football at the highest level, because that's what they're going to do if they're playing in the ACC Atlantic.
Seems like some of the recruiting legislation that was recently passed benefits a program like Syracuse, just moving up the official visit date. Are you pretty satisfied with the whole bundle of legislation that was approved recently?
You know, I think that the way they bundled it was very interesting. There's parts of it that you would look at that's an advantage for northern schools, and then there's parts of it that's a disadvantage. And I think that was the whole key to the bundle. I wouldn't say that the ACC or us in particular was for everything that happened, but when you group it all together in the bundle, I think it's changes that were needed, and I think they're changes that have an opportunity to work. And I think it's going to be fun and exciting the next 10 to 15 years after this stuff settles to see if it's really positive or negative for us.
So what do you like or dislike for that?
I don't want to break up the bundle individually, but I think overall, I think it could be good for Syracuse.
Any other questions for Coach Babers?
How does the early signing period in December, that 72-hour window, change your evaluation period or your process in terms of recruiting?
It's really not that much. I think the biggest thing is when you look at individuals, I can only talk about people who are already signed. When you look at like a Tommy DeVito was last year, you know, Tommy was committed to us. He could have signed early, which would have allowed us to go and look at other young men at different positions. By him waiting all the way till February, you had to do a lot of what we call babysitting in our business, where you're going back and you're seeing people who you already feel are strongly committed that they're going to sign, and you're just waiting for that first Wednesday in February to do that. By having the early signing period, it allows us to sign that young man early. It saves the institution money because we don't have to continue to go back there, and also gives us an opportunity to start a little bit earlier or finish in other areas, concentrate more in other areas, which is going to help us. So I think that part of it's going to be good. There's certain young men that just know where they want to go to school. Their fathers went to a school, their dad went to the school. They're going to stay close so grandma and grandpa can see them play. And even though other people are talking to and trying to get them to change their minds, it really doesn't matter. So I think that that part of the legislation of letting them sign early is going to help the schools financially, and it's going to help these young men get started with their college careers.
Coach, you said, again, when you were hired, talked to you 3, 4, 5 games into this season. We're still a few months away from that. Do you feel like that schedule, where you are right now, do you feel like you're where you want to be right now with the group that you have?
I think we have an opportunity to get there. I think that for the very first time, since I've been a head coach, we've never used the summer. We have the ability to work with our young men for 2 hours without a football in the summertime. We've never done it before, but we're going to do it this year. And I think by working with those 2 hours every week, no footballs, talking philosophy, techniques, and bringing them along in the summer, I think that's going to help to accelerate this group of young men to give us an opportunity to stay on schedule with that second year between games 4 and 6. Absolutely.
What do you try to zero in on over the last month when all your assistants are out on the road doing in-person evaluation?
There's a lot of things. We're still doing recruiting. Recruiting can never stop. It's something that we have to always do at Syracuse. Outside of that, we're also concentrating on our first 4 opponents. We're concentrating on things that we need to do internally, okay? Things that we need to do better offensively, defensively, and on special teams. And we're constantly bringing our coaches along as well. You know, this is not the NFL. All the coaches are at different levels. And as you work on your players and you bring your players along, you need to also work on your coaches and bring your coaches along.
Anything else for Coach Babers today? Okay. Thank you, Coach.
Thank you, guys.
Bring up Coach Hillsman for questions. Questions for Coach Hillsman?
Coach, you've set that bar pretty high over the last few years. Now you're in the off season. Where do you think this year's group is, and what do you expect in at least a few months out now?
Well, the good part about our changes in legislation also too is our summer period we can actually work our players out and get them into the gym, and we're excited about that. We signed the #2 class in the country, so we have a lot of talent coming in, and we need to replace a lot of talent with Lex and Britt and Brianna leaving us and Isabella. I mean, we lost 11 great players in 2 years, and we've done a very good job, and our assistant has done an amazing job of just getting the kind of athlete that we need to come in to play our style. And so far, so good, and it was healthy. That's the most important thing right now, and moving forward, we're just excited about the talent that we have coming in to replace a lot of the load that was left by Britt and Lex.
Is there a couple of names that you can give us that people ought to be looking out for?
Well, we know what's funny is when you look at your class, you probably look more at positions than you do names. I really believe that we filled every void that we needed. We have some experience we have a very experienced point guard coming in to play at the national level, and she's going to come in and be able to help us immediately. We have some size coming in, which we definitely needed, and we have some players that can get up and down the floor. They're 6'4", 6'5". So for us, I think that was our next step to be able to match some of the physicality in our league, and you know, as you get into late into the deep into the postseason, and so we're very excited about the players that we have coming in. We're excited.
Anything else for Coach Gibb? Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
We'll bring John Wildhack back up for administrative type questions for John. Any questions?
Happy to take any questions.
Any updates on the dome renovation?
On the dome? It's an incredibly complicated project, and we're still in the process of really doing our due diligence. You know, it's an iconic arena. I think it's one of the great arenas, not only in college sports but in American sports. When you undertake a renovation of something like this, you know, it's very important that we do the due diligence to make sure that we get it right. It's the only building in the country that's home to 5 sports in a Power 5 school. Obviously, we have football, both basketball programs, both lacrosse programs, and it's used, you know, throughout the year in other non-athletic ways as well. So we want to make sure that we take our time, that we get it right. One of the things that we stressed is we want to upgrade the fan amenities and the fan experience. I think that's certainly essential. I'm excited about the project, excited about the opportunity to be a part of it. Again, when you have a building which has the history, has the iconic status that the Dome has, to have the opportunity to be a part of the team to help renovate it is something that's very, very exciting.
So John, when you announced the Liberty Series, I noticed that ensures you only have 6 home games, I believe, in 2019, which is not a desirable thing for an athletic department to have. A lot of people want 7. Is there a reason there's only 6 that year? Is a potential dome renovation targeted for that time frame?
Well, it's part of it. We already had a game scheduled at Maryland in 19, so between 4 conference road games and then at Maryland. And, you know, when Coach Babers and I, we talked about Liberty, you know, it's a team that we wanted to schedule. We think it fits with what our philosophy is in terms of building a non-conference schedule. It really wasn't predicated upon where we might be with the Dome, et cetera, that type of thing. There's certainly, you know, our goal, we prefer to have 7 home games. You know, we want to play in the Dome as often as we can. Sometimes that's not possible with other series that have already been put in place.
Anything else for John today? Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you.
Thanks for coming out, everybody.